The attack type Beyblade is without a doubt the most enticing type of Beyblade. It offers strong hits, fast movement, and insane moments that make the game of Beyblade reach the maximum height of fun. However, in the newest generation of Beyblade, Beyblade X, the attack type is also considered to have a higher skill floor than some other types, like the stamina and defense type. And as of recent, the attack type has seen a huge resurgence in usage, overthrowing the once dominant Blade Wizard Rod by introducing the newest meta menace Shark Scale to take the crown. With this, a lot of misconception has been going on and a lot of talk to see how much skill is required in using the attack type Beyblade. Unlike what an outsider may think when looking at Beyblade, attack types really aren't just rip and pray. They require control and precise positioning to get the maximum potential out of them. So with attack types, you can't rely solely on RNG to win. And in order to master these attack type Beyblades, you have to train and really take your skill to the next level. Which may sound daunting, but don't fret, because I'm going to teach you how to master the attack type Beyblade for competitive Beyblade X tournaments, alongside developing the skill needed to wield such a powerful type. Before I get into it though, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get alerted when a new video comes out every Saturday. We are also really close to hitting 10,000 subscribers, so your support would mean the world. And thank you guys so much for really being with me on this awesome journey and seeing my skills develop over time too. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and here's to 10,000 subscribers, you guys. So now, let's get into it and deep dive into how to master the attack type Beyblade in Beyblade X. Which, for the first step, we have to look at the attack type as a whole, and really dive into each attack type archetype. Which we can do this by looking at all the meta attack types in Beyblade X. Which, if you didn't know, there are 3 major archetypes for the attack type. The first one being the Smash Attacker, which aligns with Beyblades like Arrow Pegasus and Phoenix Wing. Then we have the Critical Hit Attackers or one-hit KO attackers like Hover Wyvern and Dran Buster. And then we have upper attackers and down smashers like Shark Scale and Tyranno Beat. The different ways attack types exist really shows how they're not as simple as hit hard and fast. They require a lot of knowledge to truly understand them. And since I mentioned the different types of attack type Beyblades, how does each compare in actual strength? Well, I would say there are really only around 8 attack type Beyblades that are consistently viable in Beyblade X, those being Shark Scale, Hover Wyvern, Arrow Pegasus, Pegasus Blast on Heavy or Wheel, Phoenix Wing, Cobalt or Meteor Dragoon, Tyranno Beat, Night Mail, a defense type Beyblade used on attack type setups, and Samurai Caliber. There's also one of the newer Beyblades, Orochi, but at the time of this recording, I don't know if it's meta or not. It looks really good, shape-wise and everything, so if you're watching this when Orochi's out, let me know in the comments below if it's meta or not. Either way though, all of these blades offer something completely different, but at the same time really align well with their respective archetypes. I honestly think you could choose any one of these Beyblades and do really well and consistent in a Beyblade tournament with them. And no matter what level, they balance out consistency and fun quite a bit. However, there is one Beyblade that I would say is on the level of Wizard Rod and when Phoenix Wing released back in early Beyblade X, which is Shark Scale. Shark Scale actually just dominates the meta and really geared Beyblade X to turn towards a more aggressive playstyle, which made a lot of players confused and really wonder if skill was maybe taken out of Beyblade. Because now with Shark Scale, all you had to really do was launch hard and get really good hits in, and you could win your match easily with a lot of points. However, I wanted to make this video because there really is more to that. And even though Shark Scale is a meta menace, I don't think it chains down the meta so much that it makes skill irrelevant. Which is why I want to go over everything right now, because attack types need a lot of skill to pilot. So next, to really understand how attack types are so successful, we gotta also look at the next part, the Ratchet, which honestly, a lot of the best Ratchets in the game work amazing when using attack. Although, I would say the most prevalent ones being used are 160, 760, and 960. with the 70 height versions of those sided ratchets being on a similar level. To truly understand how attack types are so successful though, we have to look at the bits that make them so strong, which I compiled the 3 best bits for attack right now, those being rush, low rush, and level, with an honorable mention being kick. But it's labeled as a balance type bit, which has an aggressive nature, but either way I still think it had a little bit of room to be mentioned here. Anyway, these 3 bits stand out above the rest because they combine great attack power and having good amount of stamina to boot. The 10 gears of rush and low rush allow for great speed and momentum to build into a huge strike, while also allowing the Beyblade to not be burnt out after all of those attacks. Rush and low rush help conserve power and let blades hit hard even in the late game. Level though has a similar ability, but actually has less stamina in comparison. It has a lot of speed, but allows for attack types to have good life after death in matches. It's basically a better version of the point bit in some cases, which these bits are really the unsung heroes for Beyblade combos. So, if you want to get all of these Beyblade parts that I just mentioned, make sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, Baylocker, as they have a sale on some great anti-meta blades currently and have plenty of bits and ratchets available to customize your deck. If you use code JacobPom, you'll also get 8% off your order, so don't miss out on elevating your skill to a higher standard. Especially since we now have to talk about the most quintessential part of using attack type Beyblades, launching. Launching can make or break how attack types function. Just like when using any other type of Beyblade, launch techniques are essential to have control over attack type movements and positioning. Where your Beyblade lands and also starts off in the battle ultimately affects the outcome of the match in its entirety. So I really want to recommend 3 launch techniques that you should learn to get the most out of your attack type Beyblades, with the first being the drop launch. This is used to begin the match by stalling on the rail in order to conserve your Beyblade's energy for a massive attack. The second tech though, I think would be almost as essential, which is something called the delay drop. Especially when a lot of players these days have learned to counter drop launching, I feel like the delay drop is almost needed in today's environments. It's mostly conducted by tilting your launcher towards the middle and using the angular momentum to make the Beyblade sway back towards the rail. For the last attack type essential launch though, I would honestly say that the slide drop from X side is what will give you the most success. It has the same execution as the B side drop launch, but is from the X side of the stadium. It really requires you to push your momentum forward and follow through with force to get to the other side and ride the rail upwards. Overall though, these 3 essential launches are something that you can also develop more launch techniques from. So these launches will really help you get a base level on what to learn. Phew, I think that was a lot of explaining, and I feel like I actually just barely touched the surface on launch techniques. So if you'd like more of a deep dive on how launch techniques are, make sure to check out my deep dive analysis on launch techniques for the winder launcher, where I go in depth about every single one and more included in this list. Now that I covered that though, I want to end off the video by recommending some of the best attack type combos in the game. So if you're wondering which kind of attack types to start off with, or just maybe use to learn some basic launch techniques with, and the basics of each archetype, I think these combos will be the best to get a fundamental understanding with. So without further ado, let's look at the first combo, which is Tyranno Beat on 170 Rush. This Beyblade is really one of the quintessential bays if you want to learn how the down smash archetype works and just lean into it as a whole. But the next combo is actually going to be one that does the exact opposite, with Shark Scale on 360 Low Rush. This combo is a staple and I believe the most used Shark Scale combo currently. It combines direct smash attack with upper attack, and it really shows you why the meta has formed around this blade. But for the third Beyblade combo, I want to recommend something that has kind of faded from the meta but is still prevalent in many cases: Phoenix Swing on 760 Rush. Phoenix has been a staple pick for so long and actually might be considered quite old by now, but it still embodies what a smash attacker really wants to perform like. However, if you want to try out a newer blade that also embodies the smash attacker archetype, I would recommend checking out Emperor Blast on heavy 160 or 960 Low Rush. It's a heavy hitting blade and is definitely going to be the best CX combo currently, but also is able to get you some pretty consistent points in your matches. Now, with the last combo I want to recommend, it is genuinely the ultimate critical attack type combo. Hover Wyvern on 960 Rush. This Beyblade hits so incredibly hard, and honestly the combo supports its recoil a ton with more control than I feel like the 960K variant can offer, but it also goes to show you that the bits I mentioned before really do have a hold on the attack type meta as a whole. Overall though, I really hope you enjoyed today's video and were able to learn a lot on how to master the attack type Beyblade. I feel like the attack type really has come full circle and changed the meta in a way that we weren't expecting. So it really is best to learn now how to counter these bays and learn how to use them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Let me know what your favorite attack type combo is in the comments below. And remember to keep on spinning, you guys. So just keep having fun, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. For real, for real.